Okay, we're going to continue on in our Father's Word today. I wanted to cover the summertime equinox. Was yesterday, the 21st of June, the longest day. The days start getting shorter now. The longest day here in North Florida is 14 hours and 30 minutes. And now the days will start getting shorter until December the 21st. The wintertime solstice, the equinox, the shortest day, and it'll be 9 hours and 49 minutes of sunlight here in North Florida. So, and the sign was in Aphelios on the 21st. Aphelios comes around, Aphelios is the serpent bearer sign, and it's halfway between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And sometimes when we get a wobble in the moon, then Aphelios shows up. Now that's a very, very, very evil time, Aphelios, the serpent bearer's sign. So the days are starting to get shorter, and the sign is in Sagittarius now. Okay, we're going to continue on in Isaiah chapter 16, verse 8. For the fields of Heshbon languish, and the vine of Sibmah, and the lords of the heathen have broken down the principal plants thereof. They are come even unto Jazer. They wandered through the wilderness. Her branches are stretched out, and they are gone over the sea. Therefore I will bewail with the weeping of the Jazer, the vine of Sibmah. I will water thee with my tears, O Heshbon, and Eliah, for the shouting for thy summer fruits, and for their harvest is fallen. And gladness is taken away, and joy out of the plentiful field. And in the vineyards there shall be no more singing, neither shall there be shouting. The treaders shall tread out no more wine in their presses. I have made their vintage shouting to cease. Wherefore my bowels shall sound like an harp for Moab, and mine inward parts for Ker Harish. And it shall come to pass, when it is seen that Moab is weary on the high places, that he shall come to his sanctuary to pray, but he shall not prevail. Now there's one Moabite, a woman in the bloodline of Christ. Her name is Ruth. Ruth married Boaz. Boaz and Ruth had Obed. Obed had Jesse. Jesse had King David, and King David had Nathan. All these are part of the bloodline of Christ. And there's only one Moabite in the bloodline of Christ, and that's Ruth, a woman. All the rest in the bloodline of Christ are from the 12 tribes of Israel. This is the word that the Lord has spoken concerning Moab since that time. But now the Lord has spoken, saying, within 3 years, as the years of a hireling, and the glory of Moab shall be contemned, and with all the great multitude, and the remnant shall be very small and feeble. Now this is chapter 17 of Isaiah. The burden of Damascus, behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. The city of Aor are forsaken. They shall be flocks, which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith the Lord of hosts. And in that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. And it shall be as when the harvestman gathereth the corn, and reapeth the ears with his arm, And it shall be as he that gathereth ears in the valley of Replah. Yet gleaning grapes shall be left in it, as the shaking of an olive tree. 2 or 3 berries in the top of the uttermost bore, 4 or 5 in the outermost fruitful branches thereof, saith the Lord God of Israel. At that day shall a man look to his Maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel. And he shall not look to the altars, the work of his hands, neither shall respect that which his fingers have made, either the grooves or the images. In that day shall his strong cities be as a forsaken bora, and an uppermost branch, which they left because of the children of Israel. And there shall be desolation, because thou hast forgotten the God of thy salvation, and hast not been mindful of the rock of thy strength, Bigar rock. Therefore shalt thou plant pleasant plants, and shall set it with strange slips. In the day shalt thou make thy plant to grow, and in the morning shalt thou make thy seed to flourish. But the harvest shall be a heap in the day of grief and of desperate sorrow. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations, that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them, and they shall flee off, and shall be chased as a chaff of the mountains before the wind, like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. And behold, at evening tide trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. Now this is Isaiah chapter 18. Woe to the land shouting with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, that sendeth ambassadors by the sea, even in vessels of bulrushes upon the waters, saying, Go ye swift messengers to a nation scattered and peeled, to a people terrible from their beginning hereto, a nation melted out of the trodden down, whose land the rivers have spoiled. All ye inhabitants of the world, and dwellers on the earth, see ye, when he lifteth up an ensign on the mountains, and when he bloweth a trumpet, hear ye. For so the Lord hath said unto me, I will take my rest, and I will consider in my dwelling place, like a clear heat upon herbs, and like a cloud of dew in the heat of harvest. For afore the harvest, when the bud is perfect, and the sour grape is ripening in the flower, he shall cut off the sprigs with pruning hooks, and take away and cut down the branches. They shall be left together unto the fowls of the mountains, and to the beast of the earth. And the fowl shall summer upon them, and all the beasts of the earth shall winter upon them. In that time shall the present be brought unto the Lord of hosts, of a people scattered and peeled, and from a people terrible from their beginning hereto, a nation melted out and trodden under foot, whose land the rivers have spoiled. To the place of the name of the Lord of hosts, the Mount Zion. Now this is Isaiah chapter 19. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.